What if I told you that most travelers unknowingly walk past opportunities in airports that could not only save them hundreds of dollars, but also give them an experience so smooth it would feel like stepping into an alternate universe of air travel, one that 99% of passengers will never see. Imagine walking into a terminal and instantly being able to predict where the quietest seating zones will be 3 hours later, identifying which security line will move fastest based on body language cues alone, and even using the subtle changes in gate staff behavior to determine whether your flight will be delayed before any announcement is made. Because yes, there are tiny signals in how airline employees communicate with each other, how they arrange the boarding stanchions, and even in the tone of their boarding calls that can reveal more than any official update. You could leverage something as simple as where you stand at the baggage drop counter to influence whether you get a better seat without paying extra. A tactic involving load-balancing algorithms airlines use behind the scenes, where a single keystroke by a check-in agent could upgrade your comfort for free if you trigger the right conditions. There's also a method to bypass the most chaotic boarding rush without spending on priority boarding, by exploiting the overlooked overlap between carry-on luggage, compliance checks, and gate reassignment patterns, which can give you a stress-free walk onto the plane while most passengers are still trapped in the crowd. If you understand how airports heat map passenger flow, yes, they literally use AI to track how people move inside terminals. You can find micro moments when lounges quietly open access to non-members at a fraction of the cost, simply to manage crowd density. You could even enjoy premium meals at half price by targeting specific time windows when catering contracts shift between airlines, a detail buried deep in operations schedules that almost no traveler ever hears about. And there's a subtle trick to make your luggage come out first on the carousel without special tags, by timing your check-in based on a hidden rotation cycle of baggage loading trucks, which most staff barely think about, but is entirely predictable if you know the order. Add to that the silent upgrades at certain international airports where unsold premium seats are quietly filled moments before departure with passengers who meet a combination of timing, travel history, and even clothing signals. Yes, your appearance can tip the scale without you realizing it. And suddenly, air travel stops being exhausting and starts feeling like a game you know how to win. When you begin seeing flights not as just a journey from point A to B, but as a living system with patterns, signals, and loopholes you can read like a book, you'll understand why some travelers step off a long-haul flight looking energized while others feel drained, because one group is navigating blind and the other is quietly playing by a set of rules that most of the world doesn't even know exists. And here's the most mind-blowing part. These tactics aren't about spending more money, they're about paying attention to details hiding in plain sight, details that the airline industry doesn't exactly advertise but can completely transform your journey if you know how to spot them. The only question is, will you still travel like everyone else after you learn them?